Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're unpacking something truly fascinating. We're going to look at how to build massive, generational wealth literally without even trying. I know, it sounds like a total gimmick, but it's actually all about adopting this incredibly powerful, old-school cultural worldview. We're talking about a deeply ingrained set of habits that produce millions, almost like a side effect of simply living a really well-ordered life.
So to really get this, I want you to picture yourself standing in your kitchen. It's 7 p.m. on a Tuesday, and you're exhausted. You've got pasta, an onion, some garlic, and tomatoes sitting right there in the fridge. I mean, the whole shebang for a great 20-minute homemade meal. But your thumb is already opening a delivery app, right? Next thing you know, you're out $26, waiting 40 minutes for a lukewarm meal, while all that perfectly good food in your fridge just kind of slowly rots. Now, to a traditional Italian grandmother, that app isn't convenience. No way. It's a series of small, almost invisible betrayals of your own future, all cleverly disguised as just another normal Tuesday.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Pillar 1, the foundation.
This cultural gap is exactly where the millions are hiding. You see, the traditional approach to wealth begins with a completely different rulebook for housing and debt. In America, our instinct, which, let's be honest, is heavily cheered on by the mortgage industry, is to buy the absolute maximum house the bank says we can afford. Because of that, owning a median-priced home right now eats up nearly 48% of the median household's income. That's practically half of every dollar earned going straight into this permanent, exhausting state of financial strain.
Now, let's contrast that with the traditional Italian rule. Buy modestly, aim for full ownership, and leave a wide, comfortable margin in your budget. Let's say you choose a house that costs $2,000 less a month than that maximum you got approved for, and you just invest that difference over 25 years. Well, that compounds to a staggering $1.8 million. Basically, that modest house acts as a quiet little engine building nearly $2 million in wealth, while the massive, over-leveraged status symbol, it actively destroys it.
The second foundational rule is all about debt. Get a load of this. 47% of American credit card holders carry a balance from month to month. We've totally normalized paying an average of 21% APR. To put that in perspective, carrying just $6,500 in debt costs you $1,500 a year in pure, mathematically destructive interest. But culturally, in a traditional Italian financial framework, consumer debt isn't just an expensive tool, it's genuinely uncomfortable. It's almost a source of shame. It violates this deep-seated principle of if you don't actually have the money yet, you simply do not buy the thing.
So, the crucial takeaway here is that these foundation habits, buying modestly, avoiding consumer debt, and saving, they aren't these agonizing white-knuckle decisions. Think about it. The average American employee's 401k contribution struggles to hit 7.7%. But traditional Italians, they aren't sitting around the kitchen table debating whether to save this month. They save first, completely automatically. Why? Because it's just the posture of a responsible adult. It's this ingrained reflex that has absolutely nothing to do with whatever happens to be left over at the end of the month.
Moving right along to Pillar 2, the daily lifestyle. When we look at daily lifestyle, we really have to reframe how we view frugality. Cooking at home and keeping things longer, it's not a sacrifice. Actually, it's a massive upgrade to your quality of life. The math behind modern convenience is honestly mind-blowing. Ordering takeout instead of cooking usually carries about a $20 premium. If you do that 4 times a week, that's $4,000 a year. Invested over 25 years, that convenience costs you $293,000 in compounded wealth. The secret sauce here is that eating at home isn't viewed as depriving yourself to save a buck. The home-cooked meal is simply the superior, better-tasting option.
And the exact same logic applies to the stuff we own. It's unbelievable, but Americans throw away an average of 82 pounds of cheap clothing every single year. It's mostly fast fashion that just falls apart after a few months. The old school rule? Quality over quantity. You buy the excellent coat, the solid wood furniture, the really well-made shoes, and you keep them for 30 years. It's just simple, cost per use common sense. Your savings compound silently just by making the choice to own better things.
This perfectly illustrates the silent compounding weight of how we treat waste too. The average American family throws away $1,500 worth of food every single year, just straight into the trash. But in a traditional kitchen, literally nothing goes to waste. Stale bread becomes this amazing panzanella. Vegetable scraps become a rich stock. It's a really satisfying craft. And if you invest that saved $1,500, it quietly compounds to $110,000. To wrap up this daily lifestyle piece, these choices build wealth precisely because they don't require you to have superhuman willpower. Frugality completely stops being a discipline when the frugal choice is genuinely the one you prefer. You're simply eating a better meal, wearing better clothes, and finding this deep, everyday satisfaction in being resourceful.
Let's move to and see how this builds in Pillar 3, the generational mindset.
Extending our time horizons brings us to what is arguably the most powerful rule of all, because it pushes our financial vision way past the next quarterly statement or annual bonus. In modern American culture, our instinct is to do everything totally independently, which, funny enough, is often the most expensive path possible. But the Italian worldview treats the family as a cohesive financial unit. Resources are pooled together. Adult children might stay at home a bit longer to accumulate capital so they can launch from a position of absolute strength rather than fragility. Multi-generational living isn't seen as a failure to launch. It's a highly strategic wealth-building engine.
And because you're thinking in terms of generations, everything just aligns perfectly. You teach your kids about money, not through these boring, abstract lectures, but by osmosis. You have them in the kitchen, actively participating in the household economy. And when it comes to investments, you hold solid, safe assets for decades. When you think generationally, holding an index fund for 40 years isn't a long time at all. It's just a reasonable down payment on a 100-year project. It gives compound interest the exact runway it needs to completely explode.
But to make all of this actually work, there's a secret engine running in the background. It's called deliberate contentment. It's the psychological foundation of finding the good life in a long meal, a walk through town, really good conversation, things that just aren't for sale. When genuine contentment fills you up, the entire machinery of modern overconsumption is rendered completely 100% powerless.
Just look at the stark contrast here. Currently, 61% of American shoppers use retail therapy just to boost their mood, right? They're constantly trying to fill a void. But in this traditional framework, performing wealth by flashing loud luxury logos is viewed as genuinely vulgar. True wealth lives quietly. Every dollar you spend trying to broadcast your wealth to total strangers is a dollar that cannot compound into actual wealth. It's not just bad taste, it's mathematically destructive.
And this brings us to the grand resolution of this whole explainer. That Italian grandmother, with her paid-off house, her quality possessions, and her high savings, she wasn't grinding to get rich. She built wealth without even trying because wealth was never the ultimate goal. It was simply the accidental byproduct of her living a highly satisfied, well-ordered life. She completely collapsed the false distinction we have that building wealth and living well are somehow opposites.
Now, it's really important to state that modern Italy has its own real economic challenges today. So this isn't about packing up and moving across the world. But if you can combine this old-school cultural posture, this deep generational contentment, with modern American financial vehicles like broad index funds, high-yield savings accounts, and Roth IRAs, you create an almost unbeatable, totally automated financial strategy. It's a real game changer.
So I want to end this explainer by taking you right back to that Tuesday night kitchen. Ask yourself, are you constantly fighting a war between the present and the future, always grinding and feeling like you're depriving yourself? Or are you simply living correctly inside a set of values that produces wealth as a side effect? Because the truth is, the good meal is already in your fridge, and the life that builds wealth was never actually in conflict with the life worth living. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, I really hope this changes how you view that delivery app tonight.